Hi, this is Ted. Today I'm going to be talking about chapters 1 through 12 in the book of Genesis, all having to do with God's commandment to be fruitful and multiply, and following through with that, because it's important to check up context before and after each story, before each episode, before each chapter, before and after each one of these things. All right, make a long story short. Stars, sun, and the moon were created on day 4. And God gives this kind of commandment. He says, let them rule over pretty much day and night. Let them be signs. Day 5, God makes water and sky, and he fills them. And he gives them a commandment in the form of a blessing. He says, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the water in the seas and let the birds increase on the earth. Day 6, another blessing. But first, God creates all living animals and creatures on the earth. And ultimately, human beings. And he says to them, be fruitful, increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish and the sea and the birds in the skies and over every living creature that moves on the ground. That is our command, and that is our blessing. Both a command and a blessing wrapped up in one, and God tells us that we are to control that. Now, the next major story within the book of Genesis is Noah and his sons. Because of the wickedness and the violence of humanity, God destroys the world. And when Noah and the creatures all leave the ark, he says to Noah and his sons, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. See, we have a theme going on here in the first few chapters of Genesis. And we see a conclusion to this theme when the Tower of Babel, rather than wanting to fill the earth and spread out, the people want to come together. Let's get together and let's build a tower that will reach the heavens. We will make a name for ourselves. Not only will we make a name for ourselves, we won't be scattered. Of course, you know the end of the story, it fails. Because this is a human endeavor and a human attempt to not only disobey the commandment to go out and multiply, but also because they're doing it on their own, trying to reach to the heavens. So the story is trying to tell us, no matter how much we build toward heaven, we will not get there. But in the next story, the one having to do with Abraham, we see God reaches down. For what reason, we don't know. But God reaches down and he calls Abraham. He says, I will make your name great and you will be a blessing to the earth. But how can that happen? Going, leaving, moving on. He's fulfilling what God has called those early people to do, is go out, spread out, multiply, and fill the earth.